Let's go over Star Wars Episode 9, the final film of the sequel trilogy. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, as you all know, Episode 9 today marks the very first day of principal photography, the first day of filming by director J.J. Abrams for the final film of the sequel trilogy, and will also serve as the final movie in the Skywalker saga. Now, these past couple of weeks, we've been learning a whole lot more about Star Wars Episode 9. We do know that they are going to be filming over in Cardington within the UK next week for a 4-day shoot, which will involve both, of course, Daisy Ridley and Billy D. Williams, apparently, as Rey and Lando Calrissian, even members of the Resistance and different creatures alike, which, honestly, I'm starting to believe that this is going to be Yavin 4, the Great Temple base, if you will. Now, one of the things, that we have been going over are all the different concept art descriptions for Episode 9, very much how we did with Star Wars Episode 8 with the binary sunset, which ended up being the death of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, one of which consists of Supreme Leader Snoke and Kylo Ren, which could very well indicate a flashback sequence in the movie if it does indeed come into fruition. Now, apparently Snoke is in a black robe rather than a golden one, with Kylo Ren besides him, surrounded by dark, ominous figures with glowing eyes. Many artifacts that resemble weapons are on shelves in the background. Now, one thing that I do have to say about this is that I really do believe that these dark, obscure beings that is, of course, being described, I think that those are the beings that we do see in Star Wars The Last Jedi. Do you guys remember those black cloaked figures besides the Praetorian guards in Snoke's throne room? How they're besides them and then they suddenly just vanish? I don't know if that was a film mistake or if they actually teleport. I don't know what they do. But there's a scene in the movie where you do indeed see them, and then there's another shot where they're just gone, out of nowhere, in the same exact scene, nowhere to be found. It's a very, very interesting piece. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but these actual beings can manipulate through hyperspace, and I think they actually come all the way from the unknown regions. We do know that Snoke's Mega Star Destroyer was actually developed and hidden within the unknown regions next to a star, so that they could remain undetectable. Now that all comes from the Last Jedi Visual Dictionary, I believe. I really do believe that we're going to be seeing some sort of flashback involving Supreme Leader Snoke and Kylo Ren. As far as the artifacts go, that do indeed kind of like, remind us of a lot of weapons, maybe even ones that belong to both Jedi and Sith. Could this very well be how Snoke hands Kylo Ren the Darth Vader melted helmet? Maybe Snoke had it all along. Could it be Snoke who actually got the Vader helmet before Kylo Ren did, or before Ben Solo did, since Ben Solo admires his grandfather? Now, that is one thing that I think a lot of us want to learn more about. The whole entire dynamic between both Ben Solo and Snoke, and what really happened down to the core, well before The Force Awakens, years before The Force Awakens. I want to know all of the different specifics, all the different events that really led Ben Solo to becoming swallowed by the dark side of the Force by the manipulation of Supreme Leader Snoke. Again, George Lucas's outlook. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Snoke and Kylo Ren is pretty much a mirror to that of Anakin and Palpatine. So that's one reason why Snoke grew on me, is that he was sort of like a Palpatine, but he actually valued a lot of luxury over power. And that's why you do see a different throne room that has a lot of red curtains on it. That's why you do see him in his golden robe and the fancy ring that he sports from Darth Vader's castle. And even the shoes that he wears are all gold as well. Not only that, he specifically wanted to redesign the whole entire idea of the guards, and that's why they look very, very mighty, because they're really based on the whole Japanese samurai thing going on there. That's what Rian Johnson got that from, I believe. But looking at Supreme Leader Snoke, guys, we've been hearing a lot about him these past couple of days, even from the Weekly Planet going over how Disney and Lucasfilm is supposedly toying around with the idea of making him Darth Plagueis, stating it to the fans that he was indeed Darth Plagueis, and that could hence be a way to include prequel trilogy continuity and tying all 9 movies into one at the same exact time. If you guys ask me, I think that would be the best thing to do. It may anger some fans out there because I'm sure that we all wanted him to be Darth Plagueis like way on earlier in the sequel trilogy, such as in The Force Awakens, or heck, even in The Last Jedi. If we just learn that he's Darth Plagueis in Episode 9, I'm not quite sure how that would float with a lot of the fans out there. But anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comment section. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. And thank you also very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.